Hey, MathKook here. This video contains one of many examples in my Algebra 2 library. The rest of those examples, along with hundreds of other videos, are only available at mathkook.com. Let's MathKook it up. This question says, solve negative 2x squared plus 24 equals 0. So because there is no x term in this equation, we can solve this quadratic using the square root method. So here are the steps for the square root method. Step number 1 is you're going to isolate x squared. Next, you'll take the square root of both sides. And then third, you'll remember the plus or minus. So whenever you take the square root of both sides, you have to put plus or minus on the other side. And then lastly, you can check solutions just to make sure they work. All right, so let's bring down our equation here. So we're going to solve, or we want to isolate x squared first. So here's our x squared term. So that means we want to move the 24 over to the other side. So we'll subtract 24 to both sides. 24's cancel. We have negative 2x squared on the left side, and then on the right side we just have negative 24. Next, we want to isolate x squared. We have a negative 2 attached by multiplication. So how do we undo multiplication? We divide. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. On the left side, the negative 2's cancel. So we're left with x squared equals, and then on the right side we have negative 24 over negative 2, which is positive 12. Next, we're going to get rid of the square on the x. So we're going to square root both sides. That is step 2 there. So that's take the square root of both sides. And then the square root of x squared is just x. And then we have to remember the plus or minus, and then root 12. Okay, let's break down 12 into a factor tree and see if we can take out any factors. So we have two 2's and a 3. So because we have two 2's, that means we can take out a 2, because as long as we have a pair, we can take it out. So plus or minus, it'll be 2, and then the 3 will be underneath the square root. All right, so now that we have our two answers here, let's go ahead and check them. So let's start with the x equals 2 root 3. Then we'll do x equals negative 2 root 3 over here. All right, so let's plug in 2 root 3 into our original function. So we have negative 2 root 3, and squared plus 24 equals 0. All right, so 2 root 3 squared, we have to do the exponent. 2 squared is 4. Root 3 squared is just 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So we get negative 2 times 12 plus 24. And negative 2 times 12 is 24. They add up to 0, 0. So this works great. Okay, next we're going to plug in negative 2 root 3. So negative 2 root 3 squared plus 24. All right, so this is also going to be 12 because squaring the negative becomes positive, and then 2 squared is 4. Root 3 squared is just 3, so 4 times 3 is 12. So we have negative 2 times 12, and then we get negative 24 plus 24. So 0 equals 0. Awesome, so this works as well. So both these answers here, x equals plus 2 root 3 and minus 2 root 3, both work. So I'll go ahead and box those because they are both our solutions. Hey Kook, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. For unlimited access to all of my Algebra 2 videos, visit mathkook.com. Thanks for watching.